Is it just me, or has this become something that some people can't live without? Your cell phone, to the point that you start pulling out of the driveway and you're like, where's my phone? Oh, I got to go back. Or you get 10 miles away from the house. I don't have my phone. People freak out. Got to go back. Some of us, believe it or not, some of us, and I think we've just somehow locked that away back in our brain. Some of us lived 30 years or more without a cell phone. How did you manage? Amazing. We seem to do okay. But now it's like, oh no, I can't, because I have to have my calls everywhere I go. I ask that because you're about to see some changes in the way your phone functions. Morning, everybody. I'm Dan Gresham. Welcome into my house this morning for the update. We're going to talk about 10-digit dialing this morning, so stick around for that. We're also going to talk about what about my street? So you see these stories about infrastructure, and it's always about the big picture. It always seems to be about, well, we're going to put internet connections in. We're going to build super highways. Well, what about taking care of my street? And also this morning, everything fried. You think you've heard of some crazy things that have been deep fried, but I got some new ones for you this morning from the Texas State Fair. All right. All that coming up over the course of the next 10, 15 minutes. So stick with us for that. All right, so it is a Wednesday morning. It is the 29th day of September, just to make sure you're on the right page, the right place. Again, this is a Facebook post. It's also a YouTube post. You can comment. I can see your comments. I can respond to what you're saying. So if you want to exchange something, fine. If you just want to say good morning, I enjoy seeing it, reading it. I read them all. I do. I read every comment. I may not read them all while we're sitting here live, but I read them all. So again, just like you would any other Facebook post, just at the bottom of the screen, where am I watching from? Good morning, whatever. Or if you have a comment. Also, it goes a long way towards getting our message out that we're doing these updates from home. If you will give us a thumbs up. I know it's asking you to do one more thing, but it's not too difficult, is it? You just reach up there, hit the little thumbs up button. It's a like. If you don't like it, don't like. If you want to put a heart, do a heart. But whatever, all those things play into algorithms, and that's how things are distributed when you get into social media. All right, not going to mess around this morning. Going to jump right in there. Let's go to KFDM.com. My first stop this morning, the weather. I was thinking on the way home from the studio, I was thinking, gosh, if you slept in, there's a good chance you missed all this. Right? If you didn't get up till 9:30, 10 o'clock, you don't know what's going on. All of this, well, not really all of that. It's a good thing a lot of it stayed offshore, but all of this moved through southeast Texas, kind of going east, but really kind of northeast. So then you got to wonder, okay, what's going to happen with that other mass that's sitting out there? Is that going to be a problem for us? Well, you can always check at KFDM.com. See the arrow? Push the arrow, creates a slideshow, goes and captures images over the course of the last, I think it's 12 hours, puts them all together and creates a slideshow. And it shows you the movement, the direction, and what happened. It also, if you look at the bottom here, it has a timestamp. So that's 9:05, that's 10, and it starts over because we just hit the 10 o'clock, right? So you see what I'm talking about right there? Every 5 minutes, it has captured an image. So you can see it's moving on through. That's what came through earlier this morning. But again, this is what I was talking about, building up out west. Is that something we're going to have to worry about it? You see, it's kind of sinking that direction, but it is moving east. Probably not a bad idea to keep a look on this as we work our way through the morning. And you can keep an idea if you want to as well. All right, let's see who's up this morning, who's checked in. Robin, good morning to you. And Robin says hi to everybody. Hi, Esther. The rain, I would not think, as I just said, I'm not sure, Esther, I would say it's gone. Listening to Chad, he says he thinks that we probably won't see as much this afternoon, but I'm not sure you can write it completely out. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some light stuff. Cassandra, good morning to you. Carlene is up. Linda is up this morning. Linda Zachary is up this morning. Rainy day, but I'm okay with that. Quick story, Linda, you'll like this one. Yesterday, people that are always asking, so what's your schedule like? Well, my schedule's like I get up 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, go to work, come home. I take a nap. I mean, I don't make any bones about it. I take a nap every single day because it's the only way I think I can function anymore after, 30 years of doing this. Come home, take a nap, start again. But yesterday, when it was raining and the thunder was going on, getting up from that nap was not easy. I really had to make myself throw the feet over the edge because, essentially I have 2 wake ups, as I always say, every day. Tammy, good morning. Haven't seen Tiffany Murphy in a while. That's because Tiffany is no longer with KFDM Fox 4. She is now in Providence, Rhode Island. She has made the decision to move on. We also have another sad announcement. If you're watching the morning show, Kelsey Borza, who's been doing our morning with us for 4 years now, is making her last day tomorrow. She has decided to get out of the business and go another direction, and I certainly understand that. So she is going into public relations and community relations with a local school. And I'm going to miss her deeply. I think she has been a great asset to the morning show. I gave her one mission, just like I did James Ware all those years ago. We'd say, go out and find people, places, and things that make us what we are. And that's what she's done. She has never asked why when it was time to go out and do some very difficult tasks like covering storms, which is not fun. So we will miss her. So yes, Tiffany is gone, and now we're losing Kelsey as well. Peggy Boone, good morning there in Orange. Hope it's good for you this morning. Does Wynn is up this morning. Also, Tom, good morning there in Illinois. I doubt you had, I don't know, do you have the kind of rain we had? Probably not, but it was welcome in a lot of places. Charlotte says good morning, as does Charlotte Tillery. Lisa, good morning to you there in Viter. Also, Barbara Ann Woodson says good morning as well. Again, you can continue to comment as we move forward. We've got a lot to do this morning, a lot to cover, so we'll move on. But again, I'll come back and check on some more comments if you want to post them up. If you want to say goodbye to Kelsey, or if you want to make a comment about Kelsey, whether you enjoy her personality, you can post them here, and then I will share them with her, and she can also see them on our KFDM Facebook page as well. And we're going to spend some time tomorrow talking to her about where she's going and what she's going to be doing. All right, so let's go back to KFDM.com this morning. Now we've kind of got to look at what's happening in the weather. Let's talk about some headlines. To me, one of the biggest stories that we may not talk a whole lot about, man charged in hit and run fatality of teen leaving football game has 4 previous DWIs. 4. Steve Stewart posted this for us from KJS. This is Livingston teenager was killed by this DWI by Roy Grant Wagner, who's been charged. He's from the Woodlands, driving a pickup truck head on into a pickup truck driven by the 18-year-old, a senior at Livingston High School, when he was leaving a high school football game. He was killed in that crash. Mr. Wagner has since been charged. Now, he has not been found guilty, but he has been charged with failure to stop, unlawful carrying of a weapon, and possession of marijuana. All of those things. They're reporting previously arrested 2001, a DWI, got 6 months probation. 2011, 1 year probation. 2014, intoxication, disposition unknown. 2018, 2 years of probation. 2020, DWI, 8 days in county jail. I think most people, when you say, okay, second chances, you know, hear everybody say either I have, and tell me, have you ever heard this? People will go, there are only two kinds of people in the world: those who have gotten a DWI and those that will get a DWI. Now, I don't agree with that. I think there are a lot of people in this world that will never get a DWI. Because there are a lot of people in this world that don't drink. And there are a lot of people in this world that even though they do drink, they would never drive. But I think most people would say, okay, second chance, but how many chances and how do we deal with this? When you go and look statistically, and I don't have it in front of me, do you think that we have more people killed by DWIs in this country than we probably have by, a gunshot? I would think so. Again, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm just asking the rhetorical question. But not only that, you can have DWIs and still get insurance. How does that happen? And then you have people who've had, one accident and they struggle to have insurance and they've never had a DWI. I don't know. I'm asking for DWIs and, probation. Got a thought on that? Post up. I'll see your comment. We'll talk about it if you want to. Also this morning, I mentioned, what about my street? You ever feel that way? When you're watching a newscast, when you're seeing something and they're like doing, or even you drive by. Let's say you just drive by a street and you see people from the city and they're out working on a street. And you're like, wait a minute, why not my street? Well, some residents in Port Arthur saying that yesterday, KFDM.com again. Angel San Juan went down to Port Arthur, talked to the city manager, asking for those residents who've been expressing their frustration, about what's going on. City manager essentially said, look, we can't get to all of the streets at one time. We have a strategy. We have a plan. We're trying to get to them as we can. Do you feel like, infrastructure within cities, is that a bigger issue than infrastructure on a national level? Or is the national infrastructure issue bigger? Again, you can comment on that. A big part of what I think we should be doing is raising questions, provoking thought, so that we sit and we go, I don't know. So what do you think about that? I mean, if infrastructure, to me, again, it's that same theory that we spend so much of our time consumed by the big picture, always talking about national politics, always talking about, global this, instead of talking about what's happening in your county or what's happening in your city or what's happening on your street. Shouldn't we bring it down? How much effect can you really have on national politics, as opposed to how much of a direct impact you can have on what happens in your community? Asking. Again, everybody wants to know, what about my street? I have a street. My street got more potholes. It's got more in front of my house. I kid you not. I should take my camera out there. In front of my house, I'm pretty sure there are more patches than there is original surface. And again, all my neighbors say the same thing. When are they going to get to our street? Usually what they do is they come to me, why don't you do a story? I'm like, well, come on. There are a lot of other streets that are probably worse in the city of Beaumont, but we all ask, what about my street? All right. I brought up the item of 10-digit dialing because how you use your phone is about to change if you live in the 409 area code. We've been able to get away with this for years, truly, really for decades, where we didn't have to dial the area code. Somebody go, oh, my number is 838-4414. Well, that's just what you dial. Well, that's changing. And you're saying, wait, what? Yeah, it's been coming for a while. This is not new. This is something we knew was coming. And this is the Federal Communications Commission. You may have gotten a text yesterday from your carrier, which said to you, I got one yesterday from my carrier. It said, starting 10/24/21, you must dial the area code for all calls. All calls. And so that prompted me to go look. Okay, so who else has been doing this? There are others. There are 82 area codes in 35 states. 82 area codes in 35 states that have been allowed to use 7-digit dialing. I live in one of those area codes. I assume most of you, or many of you do too. That's 409. That's about to change because as of the 24th, there you see it. If you have one of these area codes on October the 24th, you have to dial the area code and the telephone number for all local calls. If you decide, well, I'm only going to put in the 7 digits. Now, that won't be a problem if you plug in the 7 digits. If in fact it's already on your phone, if it's a contact on your phone, odds are it already has the area code. But if you're just like, okay, I need this a new number. I don't really know this person's number, and you pull up, the dial pad, and you better start with the area code. Now, do you have to dial 1 plus the area code? The answer is no. Unless you live in California or Illinois, you might be required to dial 1. But in Southeast Texas, that won't be the case. 7, original 7, plus you add the 3 area code, make your phone call. It's that simple. But again, I just wanted to give you a heads up. I think this is going to be pretty shocking to a lot of people. They're going to try to make that phone call. And because read what it says. It says on and after this date, local calls dialed with only 7 digits may not connect. And a recording will inform you that your call cannot be completed as dialed. You must hang up and dial again using the area code and the 7-digit number. There are a lot of places in this country that, they've been using 10 digits for a long time. And there are a lot of them that have not. I just think it's kind of interesting. It gives an explanation. Why is the 10-digit dialing necessary? And the idea is simple. There are more phones in America than ever before. And each phone has to have its own number. So to be able to accommodate that, you start having to add area codes. Geographically speaking, in the beginning, before it was Maple 614 or whatever, and you had assist from operators. That was pretty simple. There weren't that many phones. But now when everybody has 1, if not 2, do you know them? I know them. People that have 2, maybe 3 phones. Got a work phone, a private phone, an emergency throwdown phone. So, it was necessitated by that. So again, beginning the 24th of next month, just start thinking that way now. If it's not in your contact list, that with the area code and you punch it and it doesn't go through, know that you're probably, and am I right? Aren't there also some different area codes now popping up in Southeast Texas? That's how limited my knowledge is. All of my friends seem to be 409. There is though, right? I should go and look because on this page from the FCC, there is a list. I think here it is, a list of all the different websites, all the different numbers. So you can go and check them all the different area codes. Okay. If you want to. But again, that begins on the 24th of next month. Might as well get in the habit of doing it today, I guess. Right. All right. Let's check on some other comments coming in today, folks who might have dropped by since we started this morning. Carlene says she will miss Kelsey. Charlotte Tiller says she will miss us as well. She'll miss seeing her face. Good morning, Brandy. Hope you have a nice day going for yourself. And Mecky, good morning to you and to your sister as well. Also, I see Brandy LaPointe joined us this morning. Linda says people drive without insurance. They don't care. You're right. That's true. They do drive because she's talking about the DWI and how many times can you get one and still get insurance? It's true. Hi, Carol. Good morning to you. I hope your day is off to a good start. Don, always good to see you as well. Mary Wofford, Toledo Bend, you have to dial none. See, there are places where they've been doing that. And now we're all going to have to start doing that. as of the 24th. Again, if you want to post up a comment, feel free to do so. If I don't get around to it while we're on this morning, I will be more than glad to talk to you and address your comment when we're not on the air. Also this morning, as I mentioned earlier, if you want to hit me with a like, a dislike, a happy face, a sad face, whatever, those are always welcome as well. 44 likes this morning. That's always a good thing to see. And what else I had one more story. I always like to end on something positive before we go. Same true today. I mentioned yesterday or day before when we were together that the State Fair of Texas is going on. It's going to be going on through October the 17th. If you've never been, I think it's one of those, everyone should go to the Texas State Fair at least once in their life. I'll never forget the first time I went. I would think I was in like the 7th grade or something, got on a bus, left my hometown of Longview, Texas with a bunch of other kids, went up to the State Fair, got off, drove around, got to see all the cars, got to have a corny dog. My parents gave me some money. Don't spend, all the first place you go. But this is a great story. Texas Monthly, it's titled The State Fair of Texas Returns in All Its Fried Glory. Dan Solomon has the byline on this. And I think it's very accurate. It says Texans descended on the corny dogs and deep fried I-35 with childlike glee. And he does have the photos to prove it. There's the Fletcher's world famous corny dog from the State Fair. But he goes on and talks about, the plight of some of the vendors, how tough it's been during the pandemic, why some people go, what they're looking forward to. Here's one. Chris Sanchez, Matt Sadie, they stopped by the Fried Jesus booth and got fried jambalaya and fried peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Further proof, you can fry anything. So as it turns out, Abel Gonzalez, 5-time Big Tech's Choice Award winner, has been doing the State Fair for a long time. He is the guy who created the fried Oreo. Yeah. And he also did fried Coke, deep fried butter. And he is back this year and he is cooking up whatever he can find, whatever he can cook up. But again, fried that's just fair food, right? Seems to be. Anyway, it's a good story. Not only does it talk about the fair food, the staples like cotton candy, but it also gets into some of the strange ones that you can find. And of course, we all know turkey legs are a big part of any fair. True at the State Fair as well. This is interesting. This is the French fries that they make like a tower. Go check it out. Read them all. There you go. Deep fried I-35 with all kinds of deep fried items there. There it is. Wow. I'm not sure. That's peaches of some sort. I'm not sure exactly. Wow, I gotta love that one. All right. Texas Monthly. That's the place to go. That's a website. And again, it's all about the fried glory of the State Fair. All right, I do want to hit, let me come back. I want to hit one more comment before we go this morning because I think it's a good one. It says, Dixie Daigle says, I don't mind DWI drivers being able to get insurance because they need it for the damage they cause. I have an issue with them still being able to drive and not being locked up. Okay, I got you. But let me just tell you, here's a problem, Dixie, that we have with DWI drivers and insurance. The required amount that they have to have in order to be able to drive many, many, many times is nowhere near enough to cover the amount of damage that they cause to other people. I know this firsthand, that a person can legally drive, legally have insurance, maybe just liability insurance, and in the amount that they have is not going to come close to what it's going to cost the person, that they damage in many cases. So, all right. That's enough for us today. Coming up on 25 minutes of your time. I hope that you have things to do today because I know that I do. Do want to show you one more time before you go out. Let's get you an update on what's happening on Doppler radar. And again, we can do that simply by stopping this one and it will take us to the current. This is the current radar And you can see that Beaumont is clearing out, moving over to Lake Charles, a lot of stuff south. Some of this kind of move in this direction. Does it hang on? Does it make it here? We'll have to hang on and see ourselves. All right. Again, listen, go out and make it a terrific day. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me this morning at my house. Remind you can catch up on what's happening across Southeast Texas in so many ways. KFDM.com, Fox4.com, Facebook pages for both of those television channels. Plus, you want to follow me, it's Twitter at Morning TV Dan, and on YouTube, we also have a channel. It's Dan's at Home. You can go there and subscribe, and you can see all of our updates. All right. Again, go out and make it a terrific day. We'll look forward to talking to you again soon.